All right, now, there is this story we have to bring to you now. The compact with Africa summit hosted by the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is taking place today in Berlin. And the President of France, Dutch Prime Minister, and the President of the European Union Commission are among other world leaders that will attend the summit that seeks to increase private investment from the G20 and Germany in Africa. 10 African heads of state and government and more than 30 ministers from across the continent will be meeting on the sidelines with big business corporations interested in investing and also financing critical infrastructure in Africa. President Tinubu will join the German Chancellor and some African leaders on a panel discussion to talk about the role of Germany in fostering local value chains and investment in Africa. Now, President Tinubu later will join other heads of state and government of CWA member countries, bilateral partners, as well as heads of international organizations to deliberate on the enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investment in critical areas such as energy, trade, infrastructure, and new technology, amongst others. Nigeria's president is also expected to leverage on the opportunity presented by the fourth G20 Investment Summit to follow up on productive meetings previously conducted with high-ranking representatives from German business organizations who were part of the official delegation of the German Chancellor to Nigeria. And the president will be on a panel discussion between 10 and 11 a.m. Sure, TVC will bring you blow-by-blow account of that event. We have our correspondent, Femi Akande, who is in Berlin, to bring us up to speed. Femi, I can see that you are at the venue of perhaps the event. Talk to us what's happening. I can see a number of persons there.
Hi, Veronica and Kemi. Well, delegates are beginning to arrive here where the Compact for Africa Investment Summit will take place. Any moment from now, we expect to see the arrival of world leaders, some world leaders and African leaders, about 13 heads of states from Africa, including President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, who is also the chairman of the ECOWAS Economic Community of West African states. Later today, President Bola Tinubu will also be playing a key role in a panel discussion where they will discuss fostering the value chain and investment in Africa, the role of Germany. What Germany is trying to do with this summit is to see how they can increase private German investment in Nigeria, in Africa. I know Germany, as the biggest economy in Europe, will be having a bilateral meeting with Nigeria as also the biggest economy in Africa. So this investment summit means so much for President Bola Tinubu, who has been on a big investment drive to attract foreign direct investment to Nigeria since he assumed office on the 29th of May. So we also expect on the sideline that President Bola Tinubu will be meeting with big business corporations, German business corporations, and other big European firms to talk about financing critical infrastructure in Nigeria, and also coming to Nigeria to set up industries to partner in delivering Nigeria's energy goals, especially helping Nigeria with the energy transition plan that this government has been trying to implement. So Germany would help in that regard, and other European Union economies are also interested in investing in Nigeria's energy sector and other critical sectors. Veronica.
Right, and Femi, tell us about the kind of reception that the Nigerian president and his entourage have been receiving, and also how this would also impact, diplomatic relations between Germany, Europe, and Africa.
Well, this is a very important one for President Bola Tinubu. You'll recall that just about 3 weeks ago, the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz was in Nigeria, where he met with President Bola Tinubu, where they signed different memorandum of understanding for great investment in Nigeria in the communication sector, digital economy, and other critical sector of the economy. And they also committed to partnering and assisting Nigeria in areas of security and some other very important sector. So President Bola Tinubu's participation in this Compact with Africa Summit is also reciprocating that gesture extended by the German Chancellor. This will also be the first time Nigeria will be attending this Compact with Africa Summit. It is significant because it goes a long way to show how the world is paying attention to Africa, how President Bola Tinubu's policies are beginning to rub off positively on the country, indicating that Nigeria is open for business. And, as he has always promised, that investors will get return on their investment, and they will also be able to take their money out of Nigeria, their investments out of Nigeria, unlike what has happened in the past, where the profit of foreign investors were trapped within Nigeria's financial system. Talking about the Central Bank of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has been able to unbundle all of that and giving that assurance to big businesses and foreign investments that indeed when they come to Nigeria, they will also be able to repatriate their profit. So this is a big one, a huge one for Nigeria. And we expect also that in the coming weeks and months, the dividends coming out of this Compact with Africa Investment Summit will be visible. We'll be seen, Nigerians will be able to see, feel and touch all of these dividends in a few months to come. Veronica.
Interesting, Femi, because Africa is seen as the new bride and Nigeria is the most beautiful of them all, as it is often said. But talk to us about the panel discussion that the president will be having later today at about 11 a.m. this morning. What's the focus of that conversation?
Well, the focus of the conversation will be to talk about the role of Germany in fostering the local value chain and promoting investment, not just in Nigeria now, in Africa. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will be on that panel, as well as the President of Senegal, Macky Sall, President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, President Alassane Ouattara of Cote d'Ivoire, and some other African presidents. They will be giving the African perspective to fostering the local value chain and improving German investments in Africa. You know that the volume of business between Germany and Africa, it's about 60 billion euros. And the German government is trying to increase this investment. We also know that this Compact with Africa Summit is an initiative of the German government when they were in the leadership position of the G20. That is when they introduced this Compact with Africa Summit, which is in its fourth edition as we speak, trying to bring African governments, African leaders, including African businesses together to see how they can build a partnership with German businesses that will be mutually beneficial to both Germany and Africa. Because like you rightly said, Africa is the beautiful bride. Everyone is seeing that potential and prospect in the African economy. And they are trying to get into that space just like China and Russia and also compete for African businesses. But ultimately, what African leaders are saying is that they want all of this to rub off positively on the people in terms of jobs, helping Africa reach its climate action goals and other global commitments that the African leadership or countries in Africa are signatory to. Veronica.
Right, but quickly tell us, how much of a promising summit this is expected to be, because reports are saying Nigeria is not exactly a member of the Compact with Africa group, but is joining as an observer. And of course, as you have also added, the Nigerian President Bola Tinubu will also be coming on board to lead in panel discussions later. So how much of a promising of a promise is this, expected to be in future relationship with this bloc?
Yes, indeed. Nigeria is not a member. Before now, Nigeria was not attending this forum. The compact with Africa was just some countries within the African continent that have been identified to show that potential for economic reform and growth. So Nigeria being invited now for the first time, and the kind of role President Bola Tinubu will be playing at this summit is quite significant, and goes to show that indeed Nigeria is also showing that potential for economic reform. Nigeria is on that trajectory of growth and development, you know, and of course bringing President Bola Tinubu up on the panel to speak alongside Chancellor Olaf Scholz and other world leaders that will be in attendance, including the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, and also the President of the European Union Commission. Like I said earlier, shows that indeed the reforms introduced by President Bola Tinubu's administration is getting the attention of the global community, and everyone is beginning to see that indeed it's profitable, it's wise to come do business in Nigeria because of the president's strong assurance that indeed all of these businesses will be profitable. Everyone will get their return on investment. And not just here in Germany. President Bola Tinubu has been around the world, from the G20 summit in India to Paris in France. He's been to the Gulf countries now, just recently from the Saudi Africa summit, where he also engaged with Gulf countries to see how he can bring businesses from these Gulf nations to the country. So everyone is have acknowledged President Bola Tinubu's drive to grow foreign direct investment in Nigeria, and that is what has informed his participation at a very high level in this particular Compact with Africa summit. Veronica.
Right. Femi, we'll definitely keep tabs with you on developments out of this conference because we will be beaming it live at about 10:11, where the president will be speaking at that panel conversation that will be had talking about the Compact with Africa Summit happening in Berlin. Definitely will bring you all the details. Thank you, Femi, for bringing us those details. We'll definitely get back to you as events unfold out of there.